Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 8th episode of the Hapori podcast. I'm Tokoto.
I'm Fetchmac.
And Bionicle Journey.
Hey, Bionicle Kasai!
Jeez, your mom's gonna run downstairs and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Kasai, that was so loud because it was so loud because it was so loud. Cliff's barking now.
It was so loud, my voice cracked.
I can't even talk. Sorry, everyone, for my screw up in the intros. I can't speak.
That's right, Jokoto. But so Vanu Von Travi is back. He's been gone for a while.
Excuse me.
Welcome back, Kasai.
Yes, I have returned.
Thank you. I'm back from vacation for 10 days. Came back in yesterday, which was the 18th.
So this is being uploaded probably the beginning of August. So that was a long time ago. Everyone's gonna be like, "What was so old?"
It's old news, guys. Come on.
It's relevant though because BrickFair is going on, and I'm at BrickFair, and Vanu's at BrickFair, and everybody. It's all good because it's relevant.
It's to be my birthday, probably on the 6th.
Also, happy birthday, Kasai! Happy birthday, Kasai! It's your birthday sometime soon, or has been.
He's a great guy.
And Kasai's birthday, it's a perfect transition into the community. I'm getting good at these transitions, guys. Last podcast, this podcast. But so it's BrickFair right now when you're listening to this podcast, probably, or it has been BrickFair, or it's about to start. And none of us have been to BrickFair yet. We are right now. But when we're recording this, we haven't yet, except for Vanu Von Travia. He's been there for how many years, Vanu?
2 so far. This will be my 3rd.
Awesome. And for a veteran, even though you've only been there for 2 years. But do you want to talk about what happens at BrickFair and what exactly goes on, what to do? Because you said yourself, you got there and were like, whoa, what do I do? There was so much going on. So do you kind of want to talk about exactly what people should do when they're there, what's going on, what you can buy?
Well, if you're an exhibitor, first thing you do, you basically just wait until you're able to, sign up and whatnot and, get your table. Or actually, I don't think you even need to wait to get your table, but all you need to do is pretty much just wait for them to, arrange everything, then get in line before anyone else does because, dang, it is long. And then you get your goodies, like your badge and everything, and then you get yourself seated and you start talking to people. But if you're a visitor, basically just look around and see what you can buy, see who's around, see who you can talk to. Who knows, you might make some pretty good friends along the way.
What is there to buy? Do people sell sets? Do people sell parts?
Anything you can think of. They sell parts, sets, you name it.
Cool.
Even custom 3D pieces.
Whoa, really? They sell 3D printed pieces?
Well, not 3D printed pieces, but it's they'll have a brick arms, I think that's what they're called. Yeah, they usually go there and they sell minifigure weapons and all that, really accurate weapons.
Sweet. And it's out of a plastic that's really close to Lego plastic, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I believe so. I don't really look into that too. I didn't really look into that too much, but to my knowledge, yes, that is.
Wow. Didn't you mention earlier that people sell just little buckets of parts or whatever? Yeah,
you basically how it works is you pay $10 or however or whatever amount they charge you for a cup, and you basically pick and choose. You basically just pick out pieces that you want from you just pick out pieces from bins full of Lego pieces.
Oh, so it's like the Pick-a-Brick wall, but more ghetto.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Is there anything like? Do you know any people who like normally go there that like we talked about this last time? But, you know, are there any people that are lesser known who go there, like any mangas who aren't very popular, but who we should definitely check out?
There's like just there's one person that if I don't know if he'll be there this year, but if he is going to show up this year, there's Astorix Mox, and of course there's Shadow Gear and Elira, but I'm pretty sure everyone watching this already knows that.
All right.
And
Speaking of which,
Speaking of Mox,
no, of Shadow Gear and Elira, our good friend Thatcher McIntosh here made me a promise that he would try to do something. How's that gonna go, Thatch? Is that gonna happen?
yeah, because here's the thing though, because bringing stuff like I cannot bring very much, but like I want to bring all the Hapori, but I can't because of how limited my space is gonna be and how much space I gotta leave for stuff that I'm gonna buy. But I'm going to bring 2 Mox in one set to BrickFair. I'm gonna bring Brutaka, I'm gonna bring Camellia, and technically I might bring Steve, but he's small enough so he doesn't really count. And I'm gonna bring Kasai because I told you that I would. I can't bring anyone else because I don't have enough space. I would love to, but I need to keep a lot of space available because I'm gonna be buying like a ton of stuff.
You're the man, Thatch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason I brought that up, guys, is because I really want Thatch to ask Shadow Gear what he thinks of Kasai because his torso was based off of one of his mocks. So
He'll probably look at it and go, it's a rip-off circuit. Okay.
This is a knockoff. Trash.
You'll see that he's inspired. He'll see his Mox inspiration at work.
I'm also going to ask him about Camellia.
You're like, oh, I quit.
But that's
What were you saying? Sorry.
What? I can't. I don't have enough space, dude. I'm sorry.
I know.
What were you gonna say, Thatch?
I'm going to ask him about Camellia too.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think
You gotta record what he says.
we can all agree.
I'm definitely going to.
I think we all agree that Camellia is the most unique out of all the characters. You know, having like the painted face.
I disagree.
I don't think
Kasai, your figure,
he's
has an interesting build. I do like Kasai a lot. Very interesting.
But Camellia is definitely the weirdest. He's the most different. So
Yeah.
I get what Toko to say.
Yeah.
I would never save any mock I ever. Bonus is great. Autos is great. Everyone Mox is great except for mine. Mine is Tahu Master. Right, people?
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Until Thatch uploads the redo review.
I'm recording one myself. So
You are?
yeah.
Did you build it? Sorry,
I can build them, dude. I got enough parts.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen my parts?
I know. I didn't know if you
Have you seen Thatch's ego?
I didn't know if you built.
Oh, it's too big.
Yeah, you can't even see it. Blocks out the sun.
You took my ego from God. See? I get that joke. No, I'm sorry. I said yeah.
So yeah, Thatch and Vanu gonna be going to BrickFair. That's cool.
And Noretta, Toa Noretta.
Noretta, oh yeah, she's going too, isn't she?
Yep, 100%.
Been a while, so I forgot.
Renzo, okay. Last podcast, I crapped on Otto. I didn't crap on Otto. Everybody crapped. Renzo and Rangus and I, we teased Otto a little bit last podcast. This podcast, I'm gonna tease Renzo. So Renzo is like, I'm not going, whatever. And then all of a sudden, nowhere, he's like, oh yeah, I might be able to go. And then he's like, and so I was like, okay. But I typed in the chat one time, like, okay, so everyone going. I said Toa Noretta, Thatch Mac, and Bonnie, and I didn't mention him. And he's like, why didn't you mention me? I'm like, because you might not be going. He said you might be. He's like, well, I'm probably going. And so then like a week ago, I asked him, hey, you going to BrickFair? He's like, no. And I'm like, that's why I didn't mention you in the thing or whatever. So Renzo is, he scared me for a little bit because he's like, I'm going. And I was like, okay, 4 people? What's going on? Should I bring another shirt? Should I buy? Oh yeah, I did buy another shirt for his size, but he's not going now. So thanks, Renzo.
Send it.
Rep.
I'm just going to mail it.
Wait, what size is he?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if he wants me to share.
He's an extra large.
I'm not trying to be weird and call him fat. I mean,
Jeez,
No,
Toko.
stop. I'm sorry, everyone.
Man, I was just teasing him, but you were sitting out here calling him fat. Jeez.
Oh, I said I'm not calling him fat. No one's fat, all right? Well, people are, but not Renzo, okay?
Yeah, I know.
I'm totally embarrassed myself this whole podcast, not saying anything to these.
No, dude, it's all right. We have goofs up, man. You should have seen last podcast.
No, dude. Everyone I goofed up the most. I've not spoken in any of these episodes at all because it's like the reboard, everything.
I have just returned. Please stop.
Stab. It's time to stop. Sorry.
I don't need self-pity on my home podcast.
I needed a callback to last podcast. That last podcast is great. I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. But yeah, speaking of bringing mocks to BrickFair, moving on to the mocks segment.
Whoa. Nice.
Whoa, buddy, that was mean.
Let's talk about mocks. We got a few mocks. I think since Vaughn is still working on setting all the photos, Kasai should go first.
Let's talk about the big, bad, the jerk.
This is the Bar Magna robot that Matanui piloted when he fought.
That's throwback afterward. No, this is the Matanui robot, aka Makuta possessing the Matanui robot. Main villain for this arc of Tales of Home. I built him before there was a real plan for Tales of Home, or at least for an arc. But I wanted the Matanui robot because I thought it was cool, and I was feeling nostalgic for 2009 or whatever. So I built it, and then he ended up becoming a big jerk face in Tales of Home that nobody likes, apparently. But yeah, I knew where he had the red eyes. Obviously that's what he looks like when Makuta possesses it. So I don't think anyone caught on before I made it blatantly obvious in the episode.
Oh, so yeah, I did not notice.
He has an original custom torso that I worked pretty hard on.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Looks really awesome.
I like the pistons and how the general accuracy of the mock stuff.
And the pistons create a really unique shape that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and the Hero Factory chess piece also works really well. It's pretty accurate, original.
I don't know if it could work better on any other mock. I mean, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Everything I really like. There's a lot of dedication to shaping his shoulders and everything. I thought it turned out really well.
Yeah, I tried really hard. There's a lot of trial and error with this mock, in particular. Probably one of my more frustrating mocks.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I'm really
evidently paid off. No, I was just going to say that it paid off.
Yep. So I really like the. I was really surprised because I thought the pistons in the back. I thought that was just one piston that was just being set against the back. That went from the top. That went from one side to the other. I didn't know that they were two separate pistons. So that's really cool that it worked out so well.
Yeah. Tokoro, what do you think?
Yeah, I really like it. I was when I first saw it, I was is that the new robot? But I like how it's more downscaled instead of just making a giant Matanui robot with the G1 pieces together. So I thought it was really cool. I do like the torso, but I really want to build him, but I don't have all the pieces to make it. But I really like it. Good job. A+. I don't know.
What do you guys think about him in the series as a character?
He's a dirtbag. I hate him. He's the worst. A jerk.
Yeah, I mean he's just there. I guess I don't know.
I want to know how he got Darth Vader to flippin' bow down to him. How did he do that? Because that's
he used the mask of control.
Of course he did.
Besides speaking, so it must be a real spoiler.
Yep. Real.
No, there's no. It's just he's the Matanui robot. So he's the biggest, most powerful person in G1. So that's why.
Oh, so because he's big old cool in G1, everyone respects him and everything. Okay, I see how it is.
Have you not noticed the extreme racism in this government?
Well, I know, but is everyone racist? Like, oh man, Manu Robot, he's the stuff, man. Was he like a celebrity or something like that? And then all of a sudden he looks like.
I guess for G1 characters, he's like a god. So.
He's a toy in a room though, so he can't be a god in a room setting. But I can get how he'd be really respected. It is kind of like, if Dwayne The Rock Johnson became president and turned evil. Listen to him. So I think it's a little bit more plausible.
President Dwayne.
President Dwayne. Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Banu, would you like to talk about the mock that you are showcasing to us today?
No. Of course.
So Banu's here presenting Mothman.
No, it's not. Okay.
It's a humanoid furry Mothra mock, I believe.
That photo where he's on the ground, totally looks like he's got miniature wings and everything.
Ever since Noretta said that Kratos looked like a moth, that's just all I've been hearing from these guys. You see what I have to deal with, dear audience.
I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I actually.
Well, Bonnie's interesting on this podcast, I guess. I'm kidding. Bonnie, you want to talk about it though? Let's talk about it. Sorry, we interrupted you.
Yeah. As of right now, the concepts and ideas and backstory are changing, as per usual. My story is as fragmented as some of my mocks currently, but Makuta Carlos here he's basically he basically was a toe of shadow that was mutated by Makuta and turned into one in the process, and has completely lost his mind. But a part of his former self struggles to take back control of his body and do the right thing. But of course, this may change. I don't know, but yeah, I basically started off building this mock. The first version of this mock was like a Roxy-headed mock, and how it became this, I do not know. If I can find the picture of said Roxy-headed mock, then it'll hopefully be edited in to the podcast when it's up. But yeah, any thoughts?
Dig it.
Thank you.
So for the people listening, in case you weren't paying attention, basically Vanu just said that Carlos is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Not the way I'd put it, but sure.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
And one detail that I'd like to add in, I've given him the ability to change his weapon into 3 different states. So he'll have a scimitar and a staff, which combined can either be turned into an halberd or a scythe. So I thought that was pretty neat. Wanted to give him an extra. I don't know. I guess you can't really call it a play feature, but I'd like to call it one. So yeah.
Sweet.
That's
yeah.
Kratos.
He looks awesome. It's a great mock. As usual, Bonnie, the mock's great. I think everything really works. I think the skinny style really works best for Kralos because he is mutated. So it really it gives you that feeling that he's you can almost imagine that he was once a toy and then his body got kind of stretched out or something like that. It just works out really well. The color scheme also works surprisingly well. The green heart light on the blue shell actually looks really good, surprisingly. It doesn't I don't know how, but it just looks, those 2 colors together I wouldn't imagine looking good, but it looks fantastic right there. The build is really great, a really great combination of Technic and CCBS. Especially since, I mean, you look at his upper arms and they're really basic, but they just work out so well for the rest of the mock. And I like, you did something very awesome, which I really appreciate, is that you took, and I think I think a lot of people should note this, whenever you're mixing Technic and CCBS, it's smart to have all the CCBS parts be smooth, because it's how CCBS is, and all the Technic parts be like very complicated, so that consistency that, you know, visually it doesn't get confusing. You can separate those areas as simplistic, and then the black areas as complicated, and it looks really good. You know, the Baraki piece on his chest, because that's also like smooth, and I don't know, overall it turned out really great. The cloth elements look really awesome. The different shoulder pads work surprisingly well. I wouldn't expect them to work so well, but they really do. I think I like it better than if it was like just the Star Wars shoulder pad, or if it was just the Skrull shoulder pad. I think it looks great. The tires are used very effectively. They don't feel out of place here, and the weapon is just great. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how you got it being a staff to the photo of it being a scythe. Like, something, like there's something a step that I'm missing, because like just bending it, I don't know, it looks super cool. And the way you filled out that other piece with the wing piece, like from from the Fantoka or Mystica. The way you filled that out looks really awesome too.
Thank you.
Overall, I think it just looks fantastic, and then each of them, you know, it is like a short sword, and then it is like a staff and everything. It just looks really great. He may be an edgelord, but he's an edgelord done right. So nice job, Bonnie.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he's great. I love. He's very stylized, for sure. In certain pictures, the poses just make me feel like he's kind of an anime character. It's just the kind of the attitude he gives off. Not in a bad way, I don't. He's not like.
I can't say he wasn't anime inspired, or not necessarily. Well, sort of, a little.
But yeah. I think it's just cool.
Yeah. Yes, he is an edgelord, but.
At least he's less so than he used to be.
Yeah. Especially once I get these story changes done with, then he'll have a pretty solid place in the story. He won't be like just random. He just won't be randomly, like, he won't be just some random edgelord. He'll actually have something to him, like a little bit more depth. The head design is being like spread around a lot. Like, I see more and more people using it.
That's a great thing.
I'm starting a trend.
All Mothmen are taking over Biotube.
Doggo.
Hi.
What's your opinion on Grellos?
He's really cool. I like it. I like the baby blue on him. That's really cool. I'm intrigued to see what Toa Carlos looks like. I mean, possessed by Makuta. Am I saying that right? Possessed by Makuta?
Yeah, I mean, the concept may change. Like the backstory might change drastically, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Makuta Carlos is basically the state. He's basically his mentally unstable state, kinda. I guess you could say, like, when he's possessed by, I guess, Makuta, sort of, like by Pterodax, I guess. Whether or not I'm going to follow through with this is, well, I don't think I'm going to follow through with it, but he is going to, like, this is kind of his mentally unstable state. He's basically a wild animal.
Alright. I do like the bottom, like the leg cape around him. I don't even know what to call that. Skirt?
It's a skirt.
Okay, I just said that. Boy.
It's a skirt, or it's a dress too. You could call it.
Yeah, his little dress. Like the one picture, he's like dancing around his little skirt. But I like the build up.
Please don't.
Yeah. Oh, it's like very consistent build. I really like it. Maybe you should put like more trans green on him, but I think no. I think it looks pretty good. I don't have any complaints with him. He's really cool. I like I said, I like his build. I like the finger build. Obviously, a lot of people use the Exoforce or robot arm pieces. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of Makutas, there's a Makuta.
You're really trying too hard.
That's my goal. I'm trying really hard. I want to get to the point where I'm able to connect two things that are like completely unconnected, like obviously. But there's Makuta in Journey to One. So how about we talk about Journey to One, Season 1, guys?
That was totally a smooth transition.
Thanks, man. I really, I know. I really tried.
He rehearsed it for like a
A
week.
little too much.
Yeah, let's talk about
so yeah, what do you guys think about Journey to
I love it.
It's, my opinion is very mainstream. Is all I have to say.
Your face is mainstream.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Hello?
What?
I think everyone might have died.
Hello?
Hello?
My internet exploded. Sorry, I was gone for the last like minute.
Were you?
Kasai, want to share about your opinion on Journey to One, Season 1?
Okay. First episode was, fine, whatever. Sakamoto telling the story, so basically confirms the fan theory that it was just someone narrating it or whatever.
Which was forced by
Second episode was, it's been a while since I watched it. Second episode was really good. I think we get to see Hakoto in a 3D sense, and we get to, actually hear proper individual voices for the Toa. And Akimu is really cool. I love his voice actor. Took a lot of inspiration from him for my Akimu. Did we see Umarak in that episode? We did, just not much. Umarak was fine. It was barely there. Yeah, I think it was some good episodes for like the first two, and then episode 3 was really good because they get the creatures and they unite, whatever. I think I'm mixing things up, but they get the creatures in one of the episodes, and then they unite, and then they go to the maze, doing their thing or whatever, which is cool. And then we get some more lines with Akimu and stuff like that. I'm all over the place, but Umarak did his like weird shadow clone thing, which was cool to see. And then Umarak like ends up stealing the mask eventually as he beats up Bahatu because Bahatu's a dumb frick. And then Umarak disappears to like his weird hidey hole in the middle of nowhere and gets fricked over by Makuta. So yeah, it was a good, not good season because like 2 episodes, but for what they are, I do like it a lot.
I've got a lot to say about Journey to One, so I better get this all out of the way. So I made a comparison, and I talked about this last podcast when we talked about, 2 podcasts ago when we talked about Legend Reborn. So the way I think of the original Bionicle movies they're very up and down. They have their high highs and they have their really low lows. When they're good, they're really good. When they're bad, they're really, really, really bad. So, there's like some of the great scenes. The introduction of the first movie is incredible. It's so good, and then the bad parts, are like tequila. So there's good parts. They have very high highs, very low lows, I think. And when I was talking about The Legend Reborn, I said it's just fine all the way through. It doesn't ever get really good. It doesn't ever get too bad. It gets kind of bad, but it never ever gets as bad as the originals. But it never also gets as good as the originals. So it was fine. But I felt like I said, you probably get more out of watching the originals because there's more great scenes than Legend Reborn because Legend Reborn was just the same. That's a little bit like how I think of Journey to One. Journey to One it's very basic all the way through, and it never gets too awful except for the ending. But aside from that, it's pretty fine all the way through. But it never also, I think, gets really truly great aside from the animation. But even that sometimes is a little weird. But it never has those moments where it's like, wow, like it was genuinely impressive. So it's fine all the way through. You won't be cringing as much in the originals as you are like watching Journey to One. But it never gets. There aren't as many good moments and like fantastic parts like in the original. So I think it's. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say, but I don't think it's great either. It's just really basic, and the animations are really good. So it's like if you just like animation wise, it's pretty fun. It does kind of feel like a video game. So the way the powers work and everything, and there's a lot of like weird like comic like effects when people get hit and everything. But it's it's the end. Like I said, the animation's good. Some of the voice actors are good. Some of the voice actors are really bad. Kind of like Legend Reborn. Like I think Tahu's voice actor is really good. He sounds exactly like I imagine Tahu, but I don't like Lewa's voice actor very much. Umarak is not bad, but he's not what we all wanted from Umarak. He's kind of like Starscream, but we were picturing him being more like Megatron or something. So he's not. I feel like the voice actor, like voice acting wise, he was fine, but I don't think he took the right direction. I think he should have been a little bit darker and a little bit, more what we all imagine Umarak to be like. And I thought I almost said Machinui. Ikimu's voice actor is pretty darn good. So yeah, I think the first episode I actually really like. I remember watching that and being like really excited because I thought it was cool. They confirmed that fan theory, and I really like seeing the animation. But the voice actor got a little too excited sometimes, and it was kind of like, okay, dude, settle down. Like he got a little too like I'm really happy about some things. But aside from that, I really liked the first episode. The second episode is definitely not as good as the third one. Second episode is fine. It just, there's a lot of like really annoying moments with like Lewa because he's such a big part of it. I'm happy that it focused on, I'm happy it didn't focus on Tahu. I'm happy it tried to focus on like Pohatu, but I feel like Pohatu's character, like why did they choose Pohatu? They should have went with Kopaka and modified it slightly because I feel like Kopaka is the loner, so he would probably be the most not willing to get a creature, not Pohatu. So I feel like if they modified it and made him less of like an idiot, made him more just, socially awkward and more just not getting in touch with people, and then made it him not want to unite with the creature, probably would have worked better. But I guess they were doing the whole scorpion thing where he hates scorpions. It was just, I didn't think it was very well executed. He had an arc which was nice because it was a really obvious arc, but at least he had an arc. And in the next season, nobody has an arc. I mean, it's all kind of do, but not really. I genuinely despise the last episode, but we're not there yet. Overall, I feel like it's a kids show for sure. So I feel like for a kids show, it's fine. I think my brother would really like watching it, but it's not like a legendary epic. I definitely think if you're, oh man, this is where G2's story really gets good, or this is how I can really get into the story, you're not looking in the right place. I feel like you should read the books. The first book's not great, but the next two are genuinely really good. That's when the story really picks up and the characters are good and everything like that. So overall, Journey to 1, I'll rate the first season at 5 out of 10, maybe a 5.5. 5.5, maybe 6. It's anywhere from a 5 to a 6. I guess we shouldn't be giving our ratings now, but whatever. It's going to take a while to talk about, so. Journey to 1, that's my opinion on it. It's fine. I don't think it's gosh awful, but I don't think it's great. It's just it doesn't get to the highs of the original, doesn't get as bad. It's
in the middle.
I'll try to get their opinion.
Oh wait, you guys hear me? Wait.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, so I personally give Journey 1 in the middle. I'll give it 50-50. It's okay, it's bad, but it's okay, and it's okay. It's good and bad. When I really got excited, it's like, oh my god, Bionicle TV show. I was like, all right, we're not getting another movie, we're not getting a movie or anything like that. I liked it when it first came out because I was like, oh, something new, but I didn't really care for like the dialogue. It didn't bother me until I really noticed after Journey 1 ended how many flaws there were, because the ending gave me such like like impression, if anyone gets that. But yeah, I mean, like, I wish the characters had more personality. Like Tahu, I was expecting more from him, and Kopaka. Like, in the animations, we had some kind of tension between them, like not liking each other, like in Generation 1. But there was none of that in Journey to 1. That's one thing I noticed. I was like,
agree. Tahu and Kopaka are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, and one thing I wish they would have done is that I wish they still had the Protectors in this, like in 2016, having the Journey to 1. That would have been interesting. You know, I said them disappearing and not seem to get the rest of the story. Like,
Well, I mean,
Moto did a thing with Ikimu, so there's that.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't even, the Lorenzo had a giant debate if that was unaware or not. But yeah, but like I don't know, Umarak, he felt like an okay villain. Hunter and Destroyer.
He was cool until he put on the Master Control, then he was ruined.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the word. I remember. When I first watched it, I verbally went, "No, why?" When I watched it, I genuinely I liked that he was saying he wasn't just a servant to Makuta so much, and then he put on the mask, and I was like that was probably the most emotional moment of Journey to One for me.
Seeing a character just completely ruined.
Yeah.
A character with potential.
Anyway, sorry, Toko, I interrupted you.
It's fine. No, I think. Yeah, I was like, oh, but I mean, Destroyer was okay. It was alright. I was like, oh my god. It wasn't like, oh my god, but it was like, yeah, alright. But, freaking Makuta, I just think he's a bland villain, really. I don't know.
Not season 2, or just season 1.
Oh, season 1. Oh yeah, he was appearance, and yeah, it seemed like I'll follow you, whatever, like that. And I don't know. I mean, the creatures, they're just there.
I will say, sorry, I forgot to mention this. One that I've always wanted to talk about. One thing I think is horrendously underrated about Journey to One are the shadow traps. I really like the shadow traps in Journey to One. They're genuinely hilarious, or they're cool. Like I love how they put their things together, like their trap things, and click. They were way better than the shadow traps. I thought they were really cool, but I mean, they were such a little part. Honestly, if they made a spin-off show about the shadow traps, I'd probably love that. They had a lot of personality. I really liked them. One of them
that would be the equivalent of them making the Unikitty show.
I would still watch a shadow trap show. There would be no talking; it would just be clicking, which would be pretty funny. But I love that they click, and I love that one of them catches a skull spider. I don't know. It was sorry about that. Sorry, you can continue, Toko. I forgot to mention that.
That's fine. I do like how they had the prologue, which the legend begins and such. That was just to get the deer caught up, which I think was a good idea. And explained how it was a campfire story and such. So that was really interesting. And it's just I was really disappointed about the characters. I wanted them to be fleshed out from one another, except they all sound like they had the same voice actor. They didn't have the robotic on that overlap with having an edit, having sound like a robot. It would have been I guess maybe different from they'll be totally apart from one another. But oh my god, freaking Tahu and Kapaka sound exactly the same.
Nah,
Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree. I think Tahu sounds very.
I'm mixing up with someone else who.
I think you're missing up either Kopaka and Pohatu or Tahu and Pohatu.
I think Tahu and Pohatu. Yeah. Leo was the only different one, I would say. He had a unique.
Tahu was the less annoying Pohatu, basically.
I would give this that Leo did have some character and being the kind of the goofball, the whole team. So that was okay. That's there we go. That's some character.
I didn't like his voice actor though.
I didn't mind.
Was a big fella with horns. No, stop.
I know this is part of season 2, but when he says, when the village, the jungle village got destroyed, he's like, "Why did Umarak do this?" He's like, "Why did Umarak do this?" Because he's evil. Destroys.
We'll get to season 2. We'll get to season 2 later.
Yeah. I mean, if I kind of felt like episode 2 was kind of rushed and a lot of control, I think they could have done so much more with that. It's having maybe if they had more episodes. I understand, they were, but 3 episodes of the first season. Well, let's see overall, but yeah. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think I was expecting something more to happen in the Lapis of Control. Instead of the tail just going zipping right through the whole thing, but nope.
Yeah, Lego definitely should have given them more budget to make more episodes.
Yeah. Well, they had to spend all their money on the Golden Mask.
Yep. If they wanted to
Yep,
spend on gold masks and would have gave it to Journey 1, probably would have been a decent amount better.
Giant waste of money.
Wasted on the golden masks and nothing on advertising.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, we want to talk about that's a bigger discussion on number. Vanu, would you like to talk about your opinion on Journey 1? Here we
Yes.
go.
It's very mainstream, but all I can say is it's kind of like watching a Transformers movie for me, or the newer ones, not the.
It's not racist. So it's not
It's not
racist.
racist. It's
Not
not
like
stupid.
that. I'm just
it
saying
doesn't
in
have
this-
like toilet humor.
I would rather watch Journey 1 than a Transformers.
I mean, like in the sense of what kind of mindset I put myself in. I mean, I shut my entire my brain off whenever I watch Journey to One or like whenever I watch the Transformers movie. I just shut my brain off and try not to make any sense of it.
I think a better comparison is like, I don't know, like probably like maybe the DC movies, maybe like I'm trying to think here. What or like the Fast and the Furious movie? I don't know, just something you should. But it's like when you go to Transformers, it's just like inherently like, oh, so it's racist and it's dumb and it's toilet, you know, and it's like it's not that. It's just there isn't much to it.
I'm saying I mean the mindset that you put yourself in when watching them. It's similar. I have to shut my brain off when watching a Transformers movie. I have to shut my brain off when watching Journey to One. That's usually how it works. I just make sure I don't try to make any sense of anything that's going on. Just try to enjoy the movie as best I can.
Well, it's definitely a kids show, so I mean, it's like
Make sense of your face.
it's like if you went and tried to watch like some like a show my brother would watch. Like it's for kids. So you gotta. I mean, as much as we don't like to admit it, Lego and Bionicle are children's toys. So a children's show makes sense.
No, it's not that we don't like to admit it. It's that we keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Usually because of moments like Tuya getting cut in half by a portal. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but the kids don't.
This is true.
If you watch the original Bionicle movies, those are definitely kids' movies.
All right,
I feel
finally. Boomerang? Yes, definitely sounds like Starscream. I would have expected his voice to be a lot deeper, but the first part of the episode when Normoto is telling the story around the campfire, that was a decent explanation, though it was mildly forced, and it did cause despite the fact that it was a good explanation or a good excuse, it was kind of forced due to, it not really making sense and people making such a huge fuss over it. So I guess they were kind of forced into that position, but
how does it not make sense?
No, I'm just saying
I don't think it's
well, it's not how it doesn't make sense. It's just how everyone made such a huge fuss over it. That kind of just led them to
probably
make.
I want to say I'm pretty sure you were one of those people.
Yes, I most definitely. Well, I kind of tried to ignore it actually, but
I don't think it was forced. I think it made sense. It didn't come across as forced at all to me.
Yeah, I mean, it most definitely was they most definitely came to that decision because of how much everyone, how negatively everyone reacted to it. But so
I don't think it was forced. I feel like you're taking it as, oh, they made this because people were complaining about it, as saying, oh, it's forced. I don't think it was forced. I felt like it made sense in the
I think they just wanted a good way to recap people on what happened in the animations.
I didn't say that everyone else thought it was forced. It's just that I said that.
No, that's not.
No, what you're saying is you think they did that because everyone complained about the animations having just the one voice actor.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I feel like they did it because they just wanted to do a recap. I don't think they did because everyone complained. Maybe they did a little bit, but you gotta understand how long it takes to animate stuff and to render it and to have voice actors and to edit it. Like they were working on that probably while the summer animations were coming out. So I feel like they wouldn't have had time to hear that feedback.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just my opinion. That's just what I think happened. Anyway.
I don't think I just don't feel like it feels forced. I mean, I don't get what's forced about it, can you explain why you think it's forced?
Well, I mean, just making it so that, Normoto was the person narrating it. I felt like that if they weren't making Journey to One and they didn't plan that out, that it was kind of forced, and it does kind of take away a little bit.
I know, but how is it?
G2 as a whole.
But like, how do you think it's forced? Like, can you explain what aspect of it is forced?
Well, the fact that Normoto was the one narrating, I don't know. I might have said, I don't know. My wording isn't on point, but
well,
yeah.
I mean, I know, but I mean, just saying if Normoto narrating is forced, then Vakama narrating both Bionicle movies is also forced. So I feel like, I don't know. It's kind of tradition for Bionicle to have that.
For Bionicle to have a narrator.
A narrator and have it be the fire person and everything like that.
I guess. Anyway.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to understand that, but I guess I get it now. I'm sorry. I kept interrupting you, but yeah, sorry. You can go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. Voice actors. I don't particularly like any of them, nor do I particularly dislike any of them. Like, I was kind of caught off guard when I heard some of their voice. Well, most of their voices. When I heard Pohatu's voice, I was just like, at least it's not Australian. Like, it just the Australian accent, I just kind of thought didn't suit Pohatu at all. But I guess
it suited freaking G2 Pohatu, who's like an edgelord. So I feel like even that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, assuming that they were going to find proper voice actors for all the characters, I was like, okay. I was just like, okay, it's your Pohatu's voice, and it was just like, I heard Tahu's voice, and I'm like, fitting, but still,
I like Tahu's
voice.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop talking.
Hearing Kopaka's voice, like, I wasn't impressed with any of them, but some of them were fitting, whereas some were not. So, Pohatu's voice, Tahu's voice, fitting, but still kind of underwhelming. So, Umrak's voice took me, like, I was taken aback from that. I was just like, wait, what? No, we don't want Screamy. We don't want a Bionicle version of Starscream in Journey to 1. Like, it just didn't suit. It just didn't. His general appearance didn't look like someone with, that kind of voice. It just didn't fit, in my opinion. Like, I couldn't really see it that way. So, Kopaka, he sounded almost exactly like Tahu, in my opinion, but it wasn't too bad, nor was it too good either. It was just kind of in the middle, and to this day, I'm not able to decide whether I like it or not. Gali's voice, I don't think, like, I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't stomach any of them, but Gali's voice Gali sounded like, I don't know, straight out of Lego Friends or something. I don't know. I couldn't stomach it. Leo's voice, it was meh. I mean, it fit, but it was still underwhelming. Onua's voice, exactly like Tahu's. I hope they didn't pull a Mask of Light and had the voice actor for Tahu voice act Onua as well. Anyway. Then Makuta and Akimu were the two voice actors that I was actually pleased with. I mean, he made for a good Makuta because, first of all, he made for a good Makuta. Second, he didn't speak as slow as the original, so thumbs up for that. So first episode, it was, I guess, it was good in the sense that it kind of focused on all of the characters, equally as much as, the next. And like, I guess the pacing may have been a little bit odd, but I tried to ignore that as best I could. So episode 1, it was okay. It was slow, but it was okay. Episode 2, it was so rushed. I mean, like, not rushed, not the entire thing. The maze, they got past it so quickly. I wanted to know more about it, and there was so much potential. They could have made, like, so much could have been revealed to us about it, and, it would have been really neat to learn about it. But it was okay, I guess. Then, so I guess season 1 was just underwhelming, sort of. Well, I don't know. Like I said, my opinion's mainstream, but that's really all I have to say.
Sounds good. Man, that was a long discussion, but Journey 1's a lot to talk about. So, Kasai, you want to talk about your vacation thing?
Okay, so I was on a 10-day trip to the East Coast, to like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., New York, that area. And so it was my first time flying on a plane, first off, and I had to do it 4 times. So that was interesting. Not sure if I like flying completely, because like my ears feel really weird with the pressure change or whatever. But whatever. Anywho, so the trip was good for the most part. I made some good friends. One particular group of friends I had was Bobby, Andrew, Hannah, and Michaela, and the first 3 being from Oregon, like me, and Michaela being from Canada. But so I made friends. Philadelphia, like all the places were like really hot and like really humid and just gross, and the people were mean, and like the cities were too crowded, and I don't know, it just kind of sucked. And the water, oh my god, like the water fountains and like bottled water, everything just sucked. Tastes like crap. The tap water here in Oregon is 1,000,000 times better than any of the water over there. But yeah, so Philly was cool. We saw like the Liberty Bell and the place where the Declaration of Independence was signed. So there was some cool stuff we saw. And then we went to New York, and the supervisors that were New York specific were horrible. I hated them. Like the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. Besides one person who I'll get to in a minute. So they were like really old and like really mean, and like every time they spoke to us, they sounded like they were yelling at us, and they treated us like we were idiots. So that was fun. I wanted to by the time the New York part was like the last day, I wanted to strangle one of them or like punch them or something. I hated them. But I picked up some souvenirs. We visited the Statue of Liberty, which was cool. We had a statue of that. We went to the Empire State Building. I got a statue of that. And we saw the 9/11 Memorial and the Freedom Tower, otherwise known as the One World Trade Center. And that was cool. Also, I got a big crystal apple, because New York is, the Big Apple or whatever. And then New York's nickname is Gotham City or whatever, because there used to be back in the day. So I picked up the tumbler at a gift shop. And in Philly, I picked up a bust of Abraham Lincoln. I think it was in Philly. I don't know, somewhere. Or no, I think it was in D.C. or whatever. And I picked up this rubber band loaded cannon, which is cool. I'm going to use it in Tales of Home, no doubt, if I haven't already at this point. And I got this like Civil War era pistol that's like a cap gun or something. So that's cool, and I had some I had some fun with it, which you'll get to see a little bit later. And then I picked up this bobblehead of Thomas Jefferson, which on a call earlier I was messing around with and making look very, very creepy on camera. But yeah, so in DC we went and saw like the Holocaust Museum and the American History Museum and the Art Museum, all Smithsonian. And we saw the Mall of America, which is like the memorials, Thomas Jefferson, MLK, Lincoln, all that. And then we went into the UN building in New York too, which was cool to see all like the different gifts from different countries and everything. There was this one incident in New York where the transformer at our hotel blew up twice as we were getting on the bus and like leaving to our next destination. So we came back that night and we had no power in our hotel. So that was fun. And then, so we went and saw all that stuff. We went to the Capitol building in DC, but we didn't get to go inside because it was closed on the day that we went, so we just didn't go in general. And we were supposed to visit Canada, but that got canceled on the trip, so we didn't. But, so yeah. So there was this one person on the trip whose name was Logan, but everyone called him Oklahoma because nobody really cared about his name. And he was interesting. He bought a pair of American flag sunglasses off of a friend of mine on the trip and wore those around. And he also bought a Make America Great Again shirt and hat on the trip and wore those. And then at one point, I think we were in Philly or something, he bought a Confederate flag. And at the hotel, he put it on and wore it as a cape around the hotel, even down to the pool. And there were a lot of African Americans in our hotel. So while that was happening, my friends Bobby and Andrew came into our hotel room because I was sharing a room with Oklahoma and two other people. And they came in and they saw our Andrew, who in the picture of the two of them, he's the one with the black hair, Andrew. He saw Oklahoma's beef jerky and he opened up the bag and spit in it and closed it and put it back. And then Bobby took my Civil War era gun, and Andrew took a picture of him with it to his head and put "When you see Oklahoma" as the caption. I took a video like the day I got the gun, being like, "This needs to stop," and I like raised the gun up. You'll see in the video. Hang on, let's give that a few moments to play. And then at the Statue of Liberty, there was a gift shop, and there were these American flag fidget spinners at the gift shop. And it was like one for $7 or two for $10 or whatever. And I was like, oh, Oklahoma would love these. So I bought two of them. And then I had Andrew recording me as I went up to Oklahoma, and I was like, hey, bro, I got you a gift. And I handed him one. And he was like, oh, I already got two. I was like, oh, okay then. So I gave him that one, and then I still have the other one. So yeah, that was my trip.
Sounds like quite the ride there.
Yeah, it sounds like a very unique, fun little journey.
Yeah, yeah.
Met
Journey
a lot.
to one could say.
Oh no!
Funny joke.
Funny joke.
Journey to one day getting a life. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Can't wait to get to work on Tales of Home, which is probably going to be finished by the time this podcast comes out. So enjoy, you fricks.
Also, Bottom 4 will be out too. So yeah.
Whatever. Nobody cares about that.
How about that Bottom 4 scene with the guys doing the stuff is great, right?
That scene where Lee Mata dies, right? I mean, that's pretty heavy stuff.
That scene where Lesavik comes back from the dead as a zombie and kills everybody. That's a great scene.
Oh, that one part where the power goes out. Spooky.
Super spooky.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. So that's my trip.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it was cool. I like it. When you keep saying the Mall of America, and I'm like, did you go to Minnesota? But no, you're talking about a different Mall of America.
The actual Mall of America in D.C., where it's just like all these different monuments everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. And I also bought some like gifts for my girlfriend when she visits on the 31st. She's going to be here for 2 weeks. And so we'll probably get her on a podcast, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be great. I love that. You got to tell us about that. That's going to be awesome.
Uh-huh. But yeah.
Well, I guess this brings this podcast to a close. Since you introduced the podcast, Tokoto, would you like to end it?
Tokoto?
Tokoto?
Oh my god. He said he'd be right back. When did he say that?
Like 7:32, which was like an hour
An
ago.
hour ago?
No, but he was back after that. Tokoto! Well, in the event that Tokoto has completely ditched us, anybody else want to close it? Because I usually close it and I don't want to this time.
I can do it. I just don't
All right, take it away there, buddy.
Okay. Thank you for listening to the Hapori podcast, episode 8. Excuse me for not knowing exactly what to say. It's been a long time. It was a lot of fun. It's good to be back. We talk about some fun stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Bionicle.
I'm Thatch Mac.
I'm fond of Antravia.
And
I'm Tokoto, and I love trash. There you go.
And goodbye. Yeah, I guess.
Adios.
I hate my life.